Are we ready? Is it go time?
It's go time.
Let's do it.
Hey there, and welcome to the For Evansville podcast, a podcast about listening to the needs and dreams of our city. And we want you to love our city so that you can be part of its transformation. In fact, we don't want you to just live in Evansville. We want you to be for Evansville. So thanks for joining us today. We have a very special episode. As you can see, all four of our team members are here, and we're excited about doing this podcast.
And we all have matching
Oh no,
wait.
Ross.
One of us does not have a matching
Uh.
shirt, which if you're just listening to the podcast, you wouldn't
you can't
notice.
even tell.
But if you're watching us on YouTube or you see a clip on our social
we all
media,
have
you'll see that we're all rocking our EVV shirt from the For Evansville merch
Especially
lineup,
designed by Jonathan.
So,
Yeah.
So
How can you buy a shirt, Jonathan?
you can go to forevansville.org/wear, WEAR, and find a bunch of shirts there. So
There's probably
check
a
'em out.
metaphor as to why the executive director didn't get the message about what he was supposed to be doing.
You just
today.
wanted to
Because
point
you
out that
all
you're the
executed
executive
so
director.
well.
It's probably a leadership,
It's a
talk
leadership,
there,
yeah.
TED talk
It
there
sure
somewhere
is. A
that starts
failure-
with that story and
failure of
then
leadership
extrapolates some
talk.
kind. We'll talk about that on a different episode. But today we're actually diving into sort of one of our values as a team, which is listening to our city, knowing our city. We sometimes say that you can't love what you don't know. And so knowing our city is kind of an important prerequisite to loving our city. And listening to our city, learning the story of our city is one of the ways that we kind of enter into that space of being able to not just be in Evansville, but be for Evansville. And so we thought it would be fun. Evansville Living put this quiz together to see how much of an Evansvillian you are. And so we are going to find out today. We've all been trying very hard not to cheat and look at this quiz ahead of time. We're going to try today to find out which member of our team knows the most.
Which is
about the
really
Evansville story.
intimidating
Or the
because
least.
if we are an organization called For Evansville and we fail this quiz,
Right. We're going to wreck our credibility.
Yeah, our credibility is out the window.
Yes.
So
Is under 60% considered failure? So we're deciding right now.
maybe one question right is considered
I think
a
it'll
win.
increase our credibility because we're trying to bring people along in our journey of learning.
That's true.
this
That's
Oh,
true. We will
okay.
learn through this experience.
So, we are
Yes.
we are not experts. We are hoping to learn from them.
So here's
you
how
go.
this is going to work.
Oh.
We're going to
Also, Ross is featured in the magazine.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You need to
Right.
check out our YouTube
Is-
I had to borrow that
video
cowboy
of
hat
this.
from
Yeah.
I
Dom
don't think that's a
Crosby.
cowboy hat.
Adrian, could you just describe the picture that we're looking at?
Sure.
In this magazine?
It is a drawing of Ross, and he,
Come on.
it's a sketch of him.
That guy's way more handsome.
He is wearing Lederhosen and holding what is that? A Stein? Is that what it's
Yep,
called?
I think that's right.
Got some clogs on. Got a nice.
The high socks and shorts?
Yeah,
You
I'm
should hold that up
assuming
to the camera so they can
a
see this.
German hat. Yeah, if you're I'd recommend going to our YouTube video
For this one.
for
It's a
this,
good one.
so you can see Ross there.
Yeah.
But
It really is. You did a good job posing for that. So
Also, have you ever
here's,
worn Lederhosen?
I have not actually.
has anyone on
I
the
don't
team?
think-
plan to.
I have not.
I guess
against
it's
it. I'm not
you,
against
Sarah,
it.
are a West Sider, so
Yeah.
it's more likely that you would.
That's true. Go
true.
to Volkfest.
West Siders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that will be on our For Evansville merch store next. For Evansville Lederhosen. But the way this quiz is going to work, we've got 10 questions and it's lightning round. So
It's gonna go real fast.
as soon as Sarah asks the question, you just have to write down your answer. No time to think about it. If you don't know it right away, you're not going to know it later.
You have a
So
pen?
I have a phone. I will just write it down
just
on
on
my
your phone.
I will not
How
be-
do we know if you're
well,
cheating?
we have to be able to see your answers.
Okay, well,
Let's pause. In the edit, we'll pause this. We'll grab a pen.
I can get it.
real quick.
Okay.
Okay, we are back and we're ready. All of us have our pens in hand, ready to answer these questions. Sarah, go ahead.
All right.
Start us off with question number 1.
Question number 1. What was the name of the home team that played at Bosse Field in the 1992 film A League of Their Own?
Oh, shoot already. Gosh.
Yep.
That would be the number one question, wouldn't it?
It would be. And you know what? I've seen this movie once, like last year, so I should know.
What?
Yeah, I watched it for the
Grew up
first
watching
time.
this
I
all
thought,
the
well, if
time.
I'm going to work for Evansville, I got to know.
Yeah.
what this movie is.
My dream is to get Tom Hanks to come to Bosse Field and host a anniversary screening
yeah.
of the film.
Yeah, we already know that he loved Evansville.
I've been working on that project for a while.
He loves
So
Evansville.
Tom Hanks, if you're listening,
no.
consider this your
Okay.
official invitation. And sorry if we don't get this question right. Doesn't mean we don't love your film.
I'm pretty sure
Just
we
made
talked
up
about
the
I don't know if we
weirdest
talked-
name.
You made up a name?
Are we?
Okay, why don't we each just go through and read our answers?
Okay.
You go ahead and start, Sarah.
Rockford Peaches.
Peaches, okay.
I put peaches too.
Oh, I thought it was the Bells for some reason.
Racine was not the home team.
Oh, they're not the home team.
Wow,
Okay.
impressive.
Oh.
I
had
had
that
put the
mixed up.
Bulldogs for Bosse.
Russ, what? Have
Okay.
none of you watched this film?
I have never
This is
seen
a
All
the
right.
film. I haven't
So,
seen it.
well,
Only
do we
clips.
know? Do we know if we've
Do you
got
want
it
me to
right?
look at the answer?
Yeah, can
Yeah,
we
we
look
gotta
at
do-
just the first answer?
Yes. It is the Racine Bells.
Oh,
I
there
was
it
right.
is.
You were
Jonathan
right. How did two
for
of
the
us
win.
have peaches and we were wrong?
So the home team, the main team was the Peaches, the Rockford Peaches, but they, I guess, were not the home team here.
At the
Oh,
okay.
trick question.
Gotcha.
Racine
Okay.
Bells.
Okay.
I feel
Hey.
like I
Next.
just
I feel like I saw that isn't that somewhere in Bosse Field? Isn't there something that says
Home of the Bells.
That's kind of
You're probably
I
right.
think that's where I was getting that. So
Home
I
of the
think I always
Bells. That
thought
sounds like
this
Notre
was
Dame
the
or
home
something.
team, but
Yeah.
I guess it wasn't.
listener, if you know
Okay.
this or have a picture at Bosse Field of that, post it for us.
Yeah, let us know.
And if you've
Alright.
been around Evansville for a long time, everyone has a story of
They were
When
an
the League of
extra
Their
or
Own.
Yeah,
something.
right.
Yeah.
it's great.
Yeah. All right,
Okay,
question two.
two. What is the maximum seating capacity of the Ford Center?
oh man,
We're gonna
Wow.
just go ahead and
I
you should listen to our other
Okay,
episode.
closest guess wins.
Yeah.
okay, yeah,
It's not the
Okay.
Price is Right. You can go over.
okay.
This is gonna be so bad because I have no idea about numbers.
All right. Ross, you want to start us off this
Yeah,
time?
I'm going with 11,000.
Okay.
I said 10,000.
Okay.
25,000.
Okay. I said 12,000.
Okay.
Oh man,
All right.
this is gonna
the
be a tight.
answer 11,000.
Oh, there you go.
Good job, Ross.
Good job,
Yeah,
Ross.
there it is.
Okay.
Right on the money.
Yeah, I'm
All right.
pretty sure the Indianapolis field house where the Pacers play is 27,000. It's really big.
You know, I have high hopes and big dreams for the Ford
That's right.
Center.
But
That's
I
right.
put Bulldogs for my first answer, so it's fine.
All right.
All right,
question
question three.
What was Evansville's original name?
Ooh, I think I know this one.
What?
Oh, that's really good.
That is a really good question.
Ross, don't peek at my.
I can't say
But
the answer. I know Jonathan was
I
a
wrote
straight
mine
A
down, so I'm going to
student,
go ahead and look.
Okay. I don't know.
Okay, we're ready.
Jonathan,
Yeah.
you think you know. You go
I'm gonna say
first.
mine first. I think it was McGarry's Landing.
Okay.
That sounds right. But I just put River City because I
I
have
put
no
River
idea.
City as well because I was like, you know
That's a
what?
good.
We
guess.
both have the wrong answers.
Well, I put Heavensville.
It's a book,
good.
I
That's the
think.
name of my TV show.
McGarry's Landing is correct.
Yes.
Oh,
All
nice.
Jonathan.
Good
Jonathan's
job.
crushing
Right.
this.
Yeah,
okay,
you
question
are.
4. What was the name of the college football bowl game played annually in Evansville from 1948 to 1956?
Oh man.
College football bowl game.
Like the Rose Bowl type of.
Yeah.
Like that's going to be my answer. Okay.
All my answers are going to have the same theme.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, my guess first
Yeah.
is the refrigerator bowl.
Okay.
Oh, good piece of.
Interesting.
That's
Maybe, I
another
don't know.
piece of trivia.
There you go.
there.
Jonathan?
Evansville football extravaganza.
Nice. Yeah.
I put the River Bowl.
Oh, that's
gonna
good.
go
River.
with my-
I like
There
that.
you go.
I'm not joking. I put the River Bowl as well.
Oh,
What's
okay.
happening?
You guys
certainly
are
cheating
like-
over
Said
there.
I
Looking at
should
each
save-
other's answers.
Someone's looking at somebody else's.
The answer is refrigerator bowl.
Hey.
Oh my goodness!
This is why we're a
Man,
team, guys.
we need
'cause
to know
don't
the
all know
story
answers.
behind that.
Evansville
It's like
was
the
the-
place for fridges to be made.
Yes.
That
Did
is
you?
so
This is
funny.
a piece of trivia that I do know is that Evansville was once the refrigerator capital of the world.
Hence
Wow.
the refrigerator bowl.
Man.
Which
You know
yeah.
what's interesting? This piece of trivia is actually going to play an important role in a later podcast episode where we're going to be
Hey.
talking about a piece of technology that has been developed in Evansville. So, no spoilers, but
Oh, you're not going to want to miss that.
our
episode.
history of appliance manufacturing is pretty important. in that.
Continuing.
So,
Okay.
Question 5. 24-year-old Evansville resident James Bethel Gresham was among the first U.S. soldiers killed in which World War?
You got a 50-50 shot on this one.
Yeah.
I really not sure.
Oh, that's a great question.
All right, I'll go first. I said World War One.
I just said World War II.
I said 1.
I said 2.
We're split on this
We
one.
are.
It is World War One, November 3rd,
Guys, I'm zero
in France. I can't read upside down.
0 for 5 right now.
World War One. Okay.
Wow.
Number 6. Who is Evansville named after? Who is Evansville named after?
Oh, shoot.
Oh, man, this is one that I just have no idea.
I'm making up a name that sounds old.
Okay, I'm ready for my answer.
Adrian, if we have the same name, I'm walking out.
Mine was
too.
Mr. Evans.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I just said Evanston.
Evanston. That's
I
good.
put Robert Evans.
I'm out. I'm done. I said James Robert Evans.
Well,
No, you didn't.
it's because
Yeah.
Robert's Stadium.
Yeah.
Is it Robert?
Yeah. that's good.
Okay. The answer is General Robert Morgan Evans.
Oh, we were right.
Pretty close.
You
were
said
right.
James.
I
I
feel
was
like we
right.
should all end up point on that one at least.
Yeah.
Wait, why?
I mean, technically,
Mr.
Mr.
Evans.
Okay,
Right.
no.
General
I'm
Evans
claiming the
is a
1
man,
point for this.
Mr.
I'm the
Evans.
one right one.
Yeah, I'm circling it.
All right, question 7.
Question 7. Which national department store opened its first standalone storefront on October 5th, 1925, at what is now 101 Northwest 4th Street in Evansville? I think I know this. I think my mom worked there.
Back in 1925?
Not in 25,
Okay.
68. 68. Don't tell her I said that.
All right.
No idea.
Ross, what do you got?
I got Sears.
Same.
Oh, same.
That's what I said as well, and that is correct.
Yes.
And now there's a beautiful mural on the back side of that building.
Is it
Right?
that
That's the
building?
Sears
I
building.
think it's across the street.
Is it the other one? Okay.
Yeah. The one that where White Swan was originally on 4th Street.
Yeah, isn't that
Just
the
to
same
the
building?
right of it.
I
is
thought that
building,
was the
but
one.
The mural would be right behind you.
It's on the other. Oh,
Street,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I thought that was all one building.
But
for
yeah,
some
Old
reason.
National just redid that space.
Really?
So yeah.
My
Old
mom did
National
work there when she was in
employees
college.
Are now working there.
That's
Wow.
awesome.
Incredible.
Very cool. Question 8.
Number 8. Where does Evansville rank on the list of largest cities in Indiana?
Oh, Indiana.
In Indiana.
We need a harder question. How about the largest cities in the country?
Oh, wait.
Well, that's not in here. I can look
We
that up
don't.
later.
Yeah, we don't know the answer.
well.
though.
All right,
You
number.
might know.
Go ahead, Ross.
I got number 3.
Okay.
Same. 3rd.
4.
Oh, I thought it was second. What's
No.
second?
Fort Wayne.
Fort Wayne is.
I think they've got us
But
beat.
then Gary, though, I think you guys are missing.
Well, you've got actually
It's-
South
the answer
Bend
is third.
close.
It is
now.
third.
The answer is third.
I erased 3rd because I
Oh,
thought they
man.
were counting.
So I think South Bend is 4th, but then some of the northern suburbs
Yeah.
of Indy are catching up pretty quickly.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
Well,
because
there
I
you
was
go.
thinking like a suburb of Chicago. Seemed.
They've got
Bigger.
HGTV shows up there now. So
I know.
That's
Yeah,
a big deal.
it's
Sure
growing.
that.
Number 9. What was the name of Evansville's professional football team that played for 2 seasons in 1921 and 1922?
Hold up. What?
Evansville's professional football
We
team.
had a professional
Yeah.
football
I didn't
team?
know this.
Whoa.
It was AFL, I think.
Fascinating.
I'll go first on this one. It's the Racing Bells.
Oh, it's the Otters.
I put the Giants.
I said the Thundercats.
Oh, I think it might be the Giants. The Thundercats. Yes, I couldn't think of it.
That's what I know. I was
think
gonna
you're
put that
be
too.
right, Adrian.
It is the Evansville Crimson Giants.
Oh,
That
there
was
we go.
100% a
Nice.
guess, but I feel like any sports team is named
Yeah.
the Giants. So
Thundercats.
That was a good
That.
one.
Very
Thundercats
good.
are not go.
yes.
That's funny.
All right, last question. While working at Kraft Foods, then General Foods Corporation in New York in 1971, Evansville native and home economist Ruth Sims invented which boxed side dish?
We know this one. Adrian
No,
and I do. I
this
think.
is a different
This
piece
is a
of
different
trivia.
person?
Box
Oh.
side dish.
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, but also,
maybe the
how many
same?
points do you have, Ross?
I don't know.
Okay.
5. I have 5 points.
Okay, I think he's winning.
Is that the same person though?
John
No,
has
it's
a
not the
different-
same
okay.
person. Wow.
Jonathan, how many points do you have right now?
Let's see. I have missed 3, so I have 6.
Oh, so this is a big deal. This is a big one. Okay. While working at Kraft Foods, then General Foods
Oh,
Corporation.
never mind. I've missed 4. I'm sorry. Racing bells didn't turn out to be correct for the last one.
While working at Kraft Foods, then General Foods Corporation in New York in 1971, Evansville native and home economist Ruth Sims invented which boxed side dish?
Is it mac and cheese?
I put mac and cheese as well.
I put stuffing.
I put stuffing.
I put cornbread first, and then I thought Kraft, and I was like Kraft macaroni and cheese.
Stovetop stuffing.
Ooh.
Yes,
Hey,
Good job, guys.
yes.
Wow.
Another piece of trivia. We are also home. Somebody from Evansville invented boxed cake mix.
Really?
Yeah, so cake mix in a box came from Evansville.
That's a big deal.
That is a huge deal. I feel like.
Because I feel like
no one knows our contributions to the world.
Yeah, I
I
feel
know.
like nobody makes
Stuffing?
a regular cake anymore.
Stuffing and
It's
cake.
always a box cake.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's the big
So-
part of this article about how to be an Evansvillian is we like our food. It's all
Yeah.
about
You.
food.
That's true.
And nobody
Okay,
even knows.
so how many did you guys get?
refrigerators to store it.
I got 2 right. I'm just going to be honest. I didn't do very good, guys.
Okay, 2. But
I
you
got 5.
Ah, 4.
6.
What?
Yeah.
Well, you're our
I think
executive
some,
director
I
of
think
For
somehow
Evansville.
we knew.
Oh,
You would
man, I
win.
think I got lucky.
So
I think if this is why we're a team, we put all of our points together. It's
I think
probably
that's
close to
right.
10.
If all of our
collectively.
did we get them all right? If we add up
Yeah,
all of
as
our
a
right
team?
scores
Oh.
as a team.
We'll have to figure that out later,
Yeah,
maybe.
I don't
I think so.
I think we did.
Yep.
I think we got them all.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
as
you
a
got
team.
Giants.
We did.
And yeah.
great
Wow.
job, everybody.
Hey.
We are.
Collectively,
For
we would have
And
aced it.
Story.
Like I like to tell my 3 boys, teamwork makes the dream work.
Yes.
Yeah, very good. So the question is, fun trivia aside, why is it valuable or important to know the story of our city beyond just being able to be good at magazine quizzes? And what value does this information, this history, this story of Evansville, what do you think that has to the idea of being for Evansville as someone who lives here?
Ross, I feel like you always say something really great about you can't love what you don't know, but what's the rest of that?
Oh, well, I think you can't be an agent of transformation in a city you don't love. And so if you don't know it, you can't love it. Therefore, you can't be much of an agent of transformation. I was listening to a podcast this morning, actually, and the phrase was used, generational narcissist.
Whoa.
And I like that phrase
Yes.
because, this history is like, hey, there's a lot that's going on here.
Yeah.
And if we consider ourselves to be the most enlightened generation in Evansville, we are actually missing out on a lot of really great history, contributions that our city has made to the world and to the community anyways. And, we get to kind of like find some roots and realize, we don't have all the answers. There were some great things in our past, and some hard things. But you can't start to love what you don't know. So really, this is funny trivia. There's other ways we like to know the city.
Right.
It's really
Yeah.
important. Places where we know we want to get better, but also like what can we celebrate? And I think that we as a city don't do a great job of celebrating the things that are really great about Evansville.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if we had a boxed cake festival? That would be awesome. That'd be a
And
great
like
way
a
to
competition
celebrate.
and everything.
Yeah,
Stuffing.
like you have to bake a cake from a box mix, but
Yes.
how do
Put your
you
own
like
spin on it,
put your own
decorate
spin
it.
on it? We should
$1
make
million
that a
idea
thing.
board.
There we
Put it
go.
up there.
Put that on
And
a
there's
board. That's
definitely
right.
something to donuts that we'd have to do.
Yeah,
I know
absolutely.
there's a whole bunch.
Maybe you
of
could make
conversation about
donuts from a boxed cake mix.
Yeah,
Competition.
ooh.
Yeah.
That's really
Well,
good.
there it
Like
Well,
cake donuts.
Yeah. I really like what you said about roots, though, because what I was thinking of was this idea of knowing your city's story in some ways is similar to like knowing your family's story or your family's history because it's something that you're a part of. Whether your family has like a legacy in Evansville specifically or not, if you're here and you're part of the city, you have become part of that story. And I think there's a lot of value in knowing that story and knowing the story that we're a part of because the history has a huge impact on why things are the way that they are today. But it also contributes to a sense of identity as a city. And sometimes I wonder if the sort of lack of identity in regards to like what's it mean to be an Evansvillian comes from, well, we don't really know our story very well. And there are a lot of really good and exciting parts of that story, and there are a lot of really tragic parts of that story as well. And if we can learn both of those things, we learn to understand and appreciate a little bit more what we're a part of. And I think when we do that, at least for me, I begin to think more about what's my contribution to that story, you know, because all of these fun facts and all of the other history or aspects of that story, they're all stories of people who lived in this city just like I do. And so it makes me think about like, how am I contributing to that story right now? And what's the story that we want to tell for the future? You know?
I really wish that I had worn my shirt, my For Evansville shirt, because it crosses out the word consumer.
Oh, yeah.
And it's really about being a creator. And I think what you just said is really important about when we say you need to love your city. We think it's great, like you should like your city, like you enjoy the things from it that benefits you. You like the little corner coffee shop, or you like the stuffing or whatever it would be, you know? But what we're really saying is you know your city so that you know how to make a contribution in order to love it well.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think that's really important what you just said. We're not really just talking about, oh, I love living in Evansville, like yay, but like I am contributing to making my city even better. I'm learning how to love something that isn't perfect. And that's how we love one another. And I think that's really important to being a human being. But if you put it in the context of how do you love your city, well, how do you make a contribution that's meaningful and contributes to a wider story that other people benefit from?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, on a micro level, I feel like my neighborhood or the street that I live on has this kind of same idea. When you guys were talking, I was thinking when we moved onto our street, we were kind of hesitant about it. There were 3 abandoned houses, and then 2 weren't abandoned, but not, I guess pride was not taken in them. And so we were kind of hesitant, but we did move in, and there was, next door was the house abandoned, and somebody bought it and flipped it. And then that kind of just got other people going. But the people on the street talked about it all the time. So then when somebody moved into that flipped house, they did not know the history of that house.
Yeah.
And so all the neighbors got to talking to them and told them the history of their house. And then a couple of months later, you saw another house get bought and flipped. And then we shared with those neighbors. And it seems like there was a lot of pride taken in the street. And now there's only one house left. And the street is way more enjoyable and it feels safer. And everyone is kind of this community. But I was thinking, like, if it's the same thing as somebody moves here, if you have pride in its history and you can share that with them, then they can get on board and start making their own contributions to making the neighborhood better, or the city better. And so it like perpetuates that idea, I think. So.
Yeah. Well, you kind of got people making a contribution to love their city. You know, there's benefit from it too, I'm sure. But then the rest of the neighborhood kind of benefits in the other way of like, oh, I just love living here now. You know, it's more fun. It's more lively.
And even the people who have lived there longer have like, oh, this house totally redid their yard. I'm going to do that. I'm going to clean up the ivy off of my house now, or things like that. And so the houses that had been there a long time also got better. So it's like if people start taking pride, then the other people will catch on.
Yeah.
Whereas the opposite could be the same. It's true. Like the more negative you are about it, the more like people just get down and don't want to work on it.
Yeah.
This is the Michael Jordan effect.
I don't know what that
is.
I just mean
sports analogy. Okay, none of us can relate.
He made his teammates better.
Okay.
It's like, oh, you can be the Michael Jordan of your neighborhood.
Yeah.
Making your place better, or just contributing to the flourishing of your neighborhood, and other people are going to go, I want to do that too.
Yeah. Well, and it sounds like on your street there was like that shared story kind of contributed to the neighbors having a sense of like community too, because we're all part of this story together, and that's cool. So question to wrap it up with: how do I learn the story of Evansville? If I want to know more about Evansville's story, either the history or also kind of the story of like what's happening in our city right now, besides this great podcast that does that, what are some other ways, if I want to go a little deeper, learn more of the story of Evansville, what are some good ways to do that come to mind?
Well, this magazine article, or like this specific issue, edition,
City View.
is actually a really good place to start. I've been reading it and finding out a ton of information.
Yeah.
Not anything to help me on that quiz, but
Yeah.
Glad you clarified that.
yeah.
There are also
There was
some
no cheating
really
involved.
good history books about Evansville that I've seen at a couple places. I think I've seen them at Target, actually. And then they have them at River City on Main Street as well. Just local historians writing some of that history. We have great local history at like the LST 325. You can go and learn that story. Anything else that comes to mind?
I think even like I remember the first couple times when I first came to Evansville, like walking down the river, like little stats and information about the city. And there's more stuff like that around. I know there's a couple of museums that have some history of Evansville that you can get some more information about. Obviously, the internet is a resource where you can look up some things. And I remember it was always fun, even going on like, it's one of those things that is a kind of a joke, but the Wikipedia page, it kind of tells you even some fascinating things. But then also, I always think it's interesting knowing like, okay, well, what like celebrity went to school here, or that the Roseanne House, like that's the thing people talk about. But like, I think those are things that as you talk about it more, people are like, oh yeah, I live there too, and we want to talk about it and be on the same kind of just talk about, hey, we're from the same place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's good.
I remember my first year back, one of the cooler conversations that wasn't really planned. I was going to this coffee shop every day, basically, and there was the same group of guys there every morning. They sat there for 2 or 3 hours and just talked. They were good friends. They were retired. They lived in the neighborhood, and I kind of from a distance thought they were a little grouchy. And so one day I just worked up the nerve, and I was like, hey, I just love to ask you guys a few questions about Evansville. What do you remember about it? What are some of the significant milestones in Evansville history? And they all had different work histories and experiences, but they shared like 2 or 3 significant events that they said really, from their perspective and experience, kind of shaped who we are and what we're about. And it was really cool to learn that. So I just encourage you to find some people.
Yeah, that's
maybe
great.
find some older generations, some boomers, some silent generation types, and ask them, what would you say the most significant things were in Evansville's history that kind of made us who we are? Hard things, good things, surprising things. And then just yesterday, the mayor had his State of the City report that he gives at Rotary every year. So this is the 11th one. But you can catch it online, just search for it. And it's a good way to just see, here's what's going on. Here's some really cool successes. Here's some opportunities, and here's some challenges. So that was one way to do it.
There you go.
And then I would say, for sure, I would be, we'd have to mention, like, we'd love for you to read our State of E report. We're going to be updating that this year, but kind of highlights, like, what's holding us back from being the kind of city we really want to be. And those are some areas we could all focus on, learn more about. And then Jonathan and many others on his team and others around the city have worked hard to make films to help us understand, like, what's the experience of life right now in Evansville, maybe in ways you don't see every day.
Yeah.
And so, we're going to keep trying to do things like that here at For Evansville, but there's a lot of things you can do on your own, just to ask the people around you, ask people in your neighborhood, get to know them.
That's right.
Learn.
So grab your Lederhosen, cook up a box cake, learn the history of Evansville, the story of Evansville, and then think about how you're going to contribute to that story. So thanks so much for listening to this episode of the For Evansville podcast. We would love to hear from you. How did you do on this quiz if you were following along with us? Is there any fun Evansville trivia that you feel like a lot of people don't know about, or maybe a story about Evansville that you would like to share with us? We'd love to hear from you. So shoot us an email at connect@forevansville.org or connect with us on social media, Instagram and Facebook @4Evansville. We look forward to hearing from you.
Thanks for listening.